Steampunk Rally Fusion is a new board game developed by Roxley Games. They're running a Kickstarter campaign until May 14th, 2020, so if you're watching this video before then, you can support the campaign on Kickstarter via the link in the description, or if you're watching this after, you can buy the game on Roxley's website. I was approached by Roxley to help with the script for their Kickstarter video and to make an animatic for it as well. So I'm going to run you through some of the iterations of the animatic. I think it can be interesting to see how a project like this evolves over time and the amount of work that goes just in the preparation for one video. The big challenge for this one was to show an intense racing sequence with a lot of action and to tell a story about time traveling in a short amount of time. So I did a first version of the animatic and it looked like this. Here we have the first shot, which as you can see is very similar to the final video. The angles stayed the same through every version, but there were more ships at first. One thing that you'll notice is that I love to add a lot of camera shakes in my animatics. I think it's very easy to add them. It's so simple, and yet it adds a lot of impact and a sensation of movement through the animatic. I wanted to start with an intense race. Here you have the pyramid ship hitting another one, causing a big crash. And there was this fusion energy capsule that I had to feature because it's a big element of this new game. So here she's using it to power her engine so she can win the race. One of the big differences was the order in which we told the story. So at first we went through the entire action racing sequence, and only then we would reveal Mars and show the war with the Martians and how devastating the war was. And in this version I was also showing more in detail how the scientists were building this technology that helped them go back in time. And I wasn't sure how to represent that, so I did this portal, which turned out did not work with the story. That's not what they used, so it was fixed in a later version. And this ending shot is pretty similar to the final version, which I'll show later. And then this shot was cut, and we had the title. So obviously after a first pass, there's going to be some changes. When showing the animatic to the team who designed the game, they know the story much better than me and all the little details of their game, so they can pinpoint things that need to be fixed in the next versions. A good example for that is how I knew the racing sequence had to be set in Machu Picchu, but what I didn't know at the time is that the game tiles were set during nighttime. So in order to match the game, this video had to be set at night. So I changed that in this new version. Another change was that we removed some of the ships so that there would be only 2 in the beginning. That way the action would be more readable. Another feature in the game is that you can have players cooperate as teammates. So you can have 2 pilots for one machine. So we added that in the video here. With the new night setting, I could add the shadow of the pyramid creeping up behind them, make it more dramatic. Here we have a thunder reveal for the big ship and a bigger emphasis on the Emperor. The crash sequence had to be reworked a bit, so the camera angle was changed. And here we wanted to show that although your ship can be damaged, you're never fully out of the race. So instead of giving up, the characters are still working on rebuilding their ship. This sequence remains largely unchanged. And here you can see the updated drawing of the machine they used to go back in time, which is called the Batiscaffe, replacing the old portal. So now I'm going to show the final version of the video. Everything you're about to see, all the final illustrations and all the animation was done by Mr. Cuddington, which is a team of only 2 artists. And already you can see every time there's pieces of the game or dices or cogs, those were done by Mr. Cuddington as well. So here you have the opening shot. Already you can see how much better it looks with the final art. And here we changed the order so that we would show the Martian invasion quickly as flashbacks. And we show the Batiscaffe that they used to go back in time. I'm happy with how we reworked the order. I think Mr. Cuddington suggested it first. From my personal experience, it's nice to do drawings in a linear fashion in a case like this, if you're not too sure, and then reorder and have fun like we did. Another thing you can notice is that most of the final shots are quicker and shorter than in the animatic. It's always a challenge to make sure that everything is snappy and engaging so we don't lose the interest of the viewers. So we have much more 3D inserts now, which help remind everyone that we're watching a board game. We always knew those were going to be added eventually, but it's nice to see how they came out. And those could have been storyboarded as well, but in this case it was really unique because, once again, Mr. Cuddington, they are used to render those kinds of things, so they did it straight up, and that way we saved a lot of time. And here we have the final shot. Like I said, similar angle to before, but looks so much better with the finished artwork. So that was it. The video came out great and it was a lot of fun to do. To me, it's always really cool when I do an animatic and the team that takes over really understand the vision and it looks as good as this in the final results. So big congrats to Mr. Cuddington and the rest of the team. Gavin Brown, the founder of Roxley Games, was heavily involved the whole time. Orin Bishop and many more people at Roxley helped us the whole time as well. As of the recording of this video, the Kickstarter campaign is already successfully funded, so congratulations to the whole team. The game is amazing, looks amazing, and I'm really proud to have been a part of it. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope it was interesting to see our thought process on how to prepare for a video like this. I'll try to make more videos similar to this in the future. And until then, see you next time.